The next drawing that you're going to do is going to be named Tower 2, as I have up here in the upper along the top. The next drawing that you're going to do is Tower 2. I have it labeled up here and saved as that. Again, you'll see these four windows. We're going to make sure you're clicked in the perspective window down here in the lower right hand corner. We'll go ahead and maximize that, so that's what we're working from, and we'll hit the home button. That'll pull up a grid for us. And then what we're going to do here is turn on our snaps. Then we're going to come over and select a box. Make sure that you're on the Create panel in Geometry, and then we'll select Box. Again, when we start this here in the middle, we hold down the clicker and on the mouse, drag it, and then we'll go about this far, which is fine. We're going to change it later anyway, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and release the clicker, and then we go up and go ahead and left click again to place it. We're going to change these dimensions here. Okay, so we're going to change, we're going to change these dimensions here. Length is going to be 30, width will be 30, and the height will be 200. And again, to be able to back out and see this, I hit zoom extents. That backs us out, we can see the whole thing. And if we need to go a little further back, we can always hit the zoom, back out a little more. Then what we're going to do next is to change this, hit this lower right hand corner button here, the maximize viewport toggle. We're going to change that to these tree views. This one we're going to actually select the top view. And we're on the scroller, we're going to just move this, so I'm going to move it down a little bit. Then what we're going to actually do is create a second box that's going to go right around this. We don't need snap on, so we can just select this new box. It wants to be about like this, and then you'll notice we still have to do the height. You'll notice on the perspective in the lower right hand corner, see how this is going up and down. The height really doesn't matter at this point, so just pick a height and click to place it. We're going to come back here in just a moment and dimension that anyway. And with this box 2 selected, which we have it right here, that's the one we have selected, we're going to click the align, and then we're going to select box 1, and to make it easier, just click the bigger tower right here. You'll get this box that's going to pop up, and we're going to make a couple changes in here. We're going to unselect the Y and Z position, and then we're going to change these both, the current object and target object, to maximum. And once we do that, we're going to go ahead and hit OK. Okay, and as you can see, these now are aligned here. And what we want to do to make sure that we have box 2 still selected, we're going to come down here next to these coordinates here, and we're going to hit on the absolute mode transform. So when we do that, then we're actually going to change the X here. We're going to change that to -6, and then we hit enter. And you'll notice up here how it moves it over just a little bit to the left. And then what you're going to do is select the modify, and again, you're still on box 2. We're going to change the some of these parameters around here. What we want to do is change the height to 3, and you'll notice how that makes it a lot smaller down there. And once we've done that, we're going to come right here into the Z coordinate, and we're going to set that to 40. And you'll see how that brings this up. It's going to be the start of a floor. Okay, so it brings it up from the ground starting at 40 meters off the ground. And then what we're going to do is make sure that this is shaded here. I'll make sure that's still selected, box 2. And then we're going to maximize this. Then we're going to come up here along the top where tools are. We're going to select tools, and we're going to find array right here. So when we select that, what we're looking for on here is 1D. We're going to change that count to 16. And then up here on the incremental on the Z, we're going to change that to 6. Okay, we're kind of setting some distances between these floors. Once we have those set, we're going to go ahead and hit copy for type of object. Then we're going to come down here and hit OK. And you'll notice how that puts multiple floor levels into the drawing. And you'll notice that since this top floor is already selected. That's okay. Make sure the top one here is selected. We're going to change that from 3 to 40. And make sure that this top floor is selected here. And we're going to change that height from 3 to 30. And you'll notice that this here that we just made, that is called box 17. What we want to do now is select what I have here that highlights box 001. So that's the whole original tower we made. And we're actually going to rename that from box 001 to tower. And after you've renamed that to tower, we're going to switch over to the create tab here. And we're going to hit the drop down under standard primitives, and we're going to select compound objects. Once that's selected, then we're going to go ahead and select underneath object type here called Pro Boolean. And what we want to make sure as we scroll down here, we want to make sure that subtraction is selected, which it is. It should already be on yours. Then we're going to hit start picking under pick Boolean, and we're going to select this piece right here. And you'll notice as I select that, it gets rid of a section right here of the building. After we've eliminated that section, we're going to hit H on the keyboard. That's going to pull up this window for us, and we actually want to select every one of these boxes going down. So we're going to hold Control down and click every one of them. And then when we've held Control down as we've clicked every one of those, we're going to go ahead and hit pick. And you'll notice it gets rid of the inside, so now it looks like there's wasted space, not wasted space, but there's no space now in between these floors. And for right now, we're done picking things, so go ahead and hit the start picking button again. That turns off the function. And what we need to do is go back to the standard primitives and go ahead and hit the maximize viewport again. We want to select the top frame, because that's one we want to work in. We're going to get another box, and this one we're going to make inside here. So we again click and drag this. About to there is fine. We're gonna change it anyway later. So go ahead and let go of it, and then we have to raise it up. Right? So it doesn't really matter the height. Just click and place it somewhere. We're gonna come back and change that. So with that new box created, we're gonna hit align, and then we're gonna select the tower. And then again, this pops up. We want the X and Y selected, and this time we want it to be centered for both of these, for current object and target object. And then once we have that done, we can go ahead and hit OK. And then what we're going to do is click the Modify tab and set some adjustments here. We're going to set the length to 28, the width to 28, and the height to 128. And then what you're going to do here, after we still have that new box created, and we set the heights and widths and everything, we're going to select this color box right here. And we're just going to give it a distinct color. Let's just pick this color right here and hit OK. And you'll notice how that changes the inside of the floors to a different color. Okay. And then the next step that you want to do is select the tower. And on the parameters rollout here, you want to select union, because we're going to join what we just made to the actual regular tower. Let's go ahead and hit the maximize this so we can see it a little easier, and actually let's zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. And then so you have union selected. Then we're going to come up here and hit start picking, and we're actually going to select that. And then when we're done, we select it. See how it changes to the same color. And we're going to go ahead and hit start picking again. That turns it off. And what I'm going to do is go to zoom extents. I'm going to hit the maximize viewport again. I'm going to go back to the top frame. Come back to the, and we're going to create a new box. And this one's going to go right here on the top view. And then we have to select the height. You'll see it form down here, so it doesn't really matter where you put it. We're going to come back and take care of that later. So we're going to go ahead and hit align. And we're going to align that with the shape here. And when we align these, we want to make sure the XY are checked on and it's centered. Then once we do that, we can go ahead and hit OK. And then what we're going to need to do is we need to modify the height, width, and length of it. And the length is, we have 50, 18 on the width, and 36 on the height. Then we need to add another box here. So again, we go back, make sure you're on the create panel, geometry, select box. We're going to come up here to the top frame. We're going to create another box, make it go this way. Again, the dimensions right now do not matter. We're going to go ahead and change those here in just a minute. And what we're going to do is the length is 18, width is 41, and the height is 36. And then we're going to select align again. And this box, the new box we just created, is selected. And we're going to go ahead and select tower 1, or select the original tower. And the Z does not need to be selected, but we want to make sure these are both center and the X and Y are selected. And go ahead and hit OK. Okay, and then with that same box still selected, which is box 2, we're going to select align again, and we're going to come back and select box 1. And when we come to this, and that pops up our align menu, we only want to make sure that the X position's on, and we want to change these back to maximum and minimum. And you'll see how it lines up here to the back wall. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. And then what we need to do is go back and select the tower, click modify, come down here to where it's under the Boolean or the parameters, we'll hit subtraction, and then we'll hit start picking. And then you want to get rid of the 2 boxes we just made. So now you'll see here in the bottom window, those are gone.